Shalom and Simchat Purim. I hope you're getting ready for a wonderful Purim. I know a lot of places have been canceling their in-person gatherings because of concerns about the coronavirus, and that many of us will be watching or participating virtually. Technology is wonderful, but it's unfortunate that we have to do this. But it got me to thinking that the holiday of Purim this year coincides with the spread of COVID-19, the coronavirus, and that's prompted schools and other institutions to close. And as I said, synagogues are rethinking their holiday plans. Now, as with many, if not most infectious diseases, those at highest risk are the elderly, the very young, and those with compromised immune systems. This isn't news. And those of us healthy individuals who are at a much lower risk need to do much more than assuage our fears with the knowledge that if we do catch the virus, it'll probably be a mild, cold-like illness. Now, this past Shabbat was Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat of Remembrance. Our final Torah reading came from 3 verses in Deuteronomy, reminding the Israelites to remember what Amalek did to them when they were wandering in the wilderness, and that was to attack from the rear. They did not fear or revere God, and they preyed on the old, the tired, and the infirm. Apparently, Amalek wasn't familiar with the laws of the Geneva Convention. No, Amalek didn't play fairly, and yes, King Saul was supposed to destroy them and didn't. The descendants of Amalek survived, and our tradition teaches that Haman, make a lot of noise here, the villain of Purim, was one of them. Now, we can read this passage another way, and I think we need to. We need to ask, why were the weary, the elderly, and the sick in the back? Why weren't they protected in the middle of the community where they wouldn't be vulnerable? Deuteronomy 25:18 reads, Asher korecha b'derech, vayizanev becha kol hanecheshalim acharecha, ve'ata ayefi ageya, v'lo yarei Elohim. The usual translation is, how, undeterred by fear of God, Amalek surprised you on the march when you were famished and weary, and cut down all the stragglers in your rear. But we can read this another way. Amalek surprised you on the march, cutting off the feeble in your rear when you were tired and hungry, and didn't fear or revere God. The wandering Israelites, only months out of slavery in Egypt, hadn't yet learned to work together as a cohesive community that cared for the vulnerable among them. As a result, Amalek was able to pick off the stragglers. Now, we've come a long way since then, but we still have a long way to go when it comes to inclusivity and inclusiveness in the Jewish community and in the world. Although God's name doesn't appear in Megillat Esther, God is clearly present throughout the entire story. To me, the divine has stepped back to allow the people to step up and be the authors of their destiny, and they do. This is our charge as well. Remember that when we remind ourselves online that those with compromised immune systems are most at risk, it's insulting to those who are more at risk. On Purim, we give mishloach manot, gifts of food, and matanot le'evyonim, gifts to the poor. So whether you're stuck inside, afraid to go out, or somewhere in between, give the gift of compassion to those who need it as we battle a viral Amalek. I wish you a freilich Purim, however you are celebrating it, and may we merit to be healthy and celebrate it again next year. Shalom, Purim Sameach.